What's up, Rad family? I got a different type of video to share with you guys, and I wasn't planning on doing this video. I was actually planning on doing a Scariest Urban Legends video of a specific country that a lot of you guys have been requesting recently, but something happened that was really creepy, and even thinking about it right now is giving me the goosebumps. So I just thought I would share it with you guys and see if maybe you guys will find it creepy too. Maybe it'll be a little therapeutic. Maybe after saying it out loud, I will realize how silly of an idea it is. Or isn't, depending on, I guess, what you guys think about it. Anyways, I digress. Let's jump into it. So, a little bit of backstory. We recently bought one of those home security cameras that you put inside your house, so it duals as a security camera as well as a pet camera so that you can check on your pets when you're not at home. And it's one of the ones where you can do like a 360-degree turn and you control it through your phone. So when we first got it, everything was normal, you know, we would check in on it, it was pretty fun. You'd see the dogs, you'd see the empty house, everything was good, nothing out of the ordinary. But then one day when my mother was at work and I was at Shaddy's house, my mom, I guess, decided to check in on Ralph. It was late in the morning. So she goes to open it on her phone, but she notices it says it's offline first. That's not uncommon. If your internet connection is a little wonky, it will say that. But she moved rooms and it went back online. But what was so weird is she didn't remember putting the camera facing the wall. I mean, that's a really odd place to put your camera, but she just assumed it must have gotten pushed or, you know, a million different things that would have explained it. So when she turned the camera back though, and she faced it towards the kitchen, which was on a 180-degree turn, our keys are hanging off of a plaque on that wall that you can see then on the camera. And I have a lanyard hanging off of it that has my gym card on it. And it was swinging dramatically. Not like a little like, oh, is that like the wind maybe? It was like actually swaying. Swaying to the point where she thought maybe a dog was rubbing up on the wall underneath it, so she moved the camera down and no, there was nothing there. So she thought it was a little weird, so she actually recorded that little segment of the clip and sent it to me. And then when I checked it, instantly I was like, okay, that's creepy. But then I was like, oh, I probably left the fan on, which sits on the ceiling above near that area. Then we were like, oh, okay, 100% that makes sense. A few days later, I was at Shaddy's again, and I decided to check in on the house to make sure everything was, you know, was good. And when I went to turn it on, it did the same thing where it said that it was offline. Now that was weird though, because I was near Shaddy's router and we were also like using the internet and the Wi-Fi at the same time, so I thought maybe something was wrong with the camera. So I just exited out the app and I just decided to wait a little bit to see if maybe it would come back on. And it did. Like 30 minutes later I checked again and it worked. But this time the camera was nowhere near where I left it. And now I know you're like, what are you talking about? The camera sat on a shelf, so it's very movable, but it wasn't even on the shelf that the camera is supposed to be on. Now I bring that up because no one would have moved it. My mom wouldn't have moved it, I wouldn't have moved it, my brother wouldn't, no one would have moved it. So that was the first little like, oh, that's weird, flag that went off my head. But the camera's working, so I turned it. But all I saw was like the house was pitch black, which again was really weird because I always leave a light, especially the light that's in that room, on because my dog can't see very well. So I never ever let the house pitch black. That just doesn't happen. So I thought, well, the power can't be out or else I wouldn't be able to see through the camera right now. So I texted my brother and I asked him, the power was on just to make sure, and he did. And then I asked him to turn on the light out in the dining room where the camera was. And he went out there and the light was on. So I thought for sure that meant the camera was broke. So then when I got home the next day, I went and first thing I did was check on the camera. It was fine. It worked. The lens wasn't cracked. There was nothing covering it. It was back on the shelf that it was supposed to be on. Again, I thought, well, there has to be an explanation for it. You know, I think anyone would think, okay, that's weird, but like, it's not crazy weird. But then the story keeps developing. If you're thinking this isn't creepy now, I understand, but it gets weirder. So this camera also has a function where it will send you movement notifications through text if you sign up for it. It was a couple weeks later. Nothing strange had happened, and I was at Shaddy's again. But around like 1 a.m., I get a text message, and it's of like a security of, oh, there's a clip of motion. When I went to go view the clip, it was really weird. My dog was standing in the middle of the frame and just growling at something you couldn't see that was, you know, out of frame. But the growl she was making was very territorial, very angry, like someone was there. That was my first instinct, was, oh my god, someone's in the house. So I called my mom. She picked up, even though it was nighttime. She woke up, she picked up. I told her, like, it just sent me a security camera clip. Penny was growling. What's happening? She went out there, and Penny was asleep. Of course, she checked all the doors, all the windows, everything was locked. They did a pass-through of the house, nothing out of the ordinary, everything was fine. And Penny was like sleeping, like snoring, sleeping. Like she wasn't just up growling at something a few seconds ago. So then I thought, well, maybe the motion security clips are delayed, which would be a really bad, that's just like a really bad product then, because then it doesn't do you much good. But that's what I went with. There must have been a software glitch. Again, just trying to think of something reasonable. So I get home, and then of course I go straight to the camera. I do a software update. I delete the app and reinstall the app and think, okay, this should fix anything, unless the product is just defective. But no one in the reviews from the site that we bought it from said anything about delayed responses. You know what I mean? I feel like that's definitely something people would be mad about. So the next night, and this is the part that scares me the most. I was laying in bed. I'm in my room right now. I was laying in my bed, which is just right over there. It was nighttime, and I got a notification again for the motion detection. And when I clicked on it, the camera was facing my door, my bedroom door, which is off the dining room. Just telling you guys my floor plan right now. And I know that doesn't sound too weird, but the clip didn't show any dog, it didn't show a person, it didn't show anybody walking or even caught on the camera. So that was really weird. And so, but of course, I braved it and opened my door and just checked anyways. Didn't see anything. Went back to bed. Got another one, maybe a half hour later, of the same thing. But this time, the camera was like trying to focus on something by my door. Getting the goosebumps. So it kept going in and out of focus, like it was trying to focus, but it couldn't. Again, this time I was a little freaked out because I had actually fallen asleep. But again, I braved it, went back outside, didn't see anything, turned off the camera, turned it back on, unplugged it, plugged it back in, that kind of thing, and went back to bed. But as soon as I laid down back in my bed, mind you, this time I locked my door just in case. I got a notification again. This time I was kind of half expecting it though. I was just staring at my door though. This time it zoomed in on, like the camera was angled down and zoomed in at the floor of my door to where you could see the strip of light coming from my room out into the dining room from the door. What looked like a shadow walk on the other, like in my room, like walk by the door, disrupting the light. But mind you, I was in bed in my bedroom staring at the door at the same time that clip was supposed to have been filmed. Well, obviously that freaked me the out. I can't stress this enough. I threw the covers off my body and I ran the out of my room. I went into I knocked on my mom's door and I was like, okay, something's happening. I know it's probably the camera being weird, but how do you explain this? And then I showed her the clip. And even she thought, well, that's weird. And I would like for the story to have ended there, but unfortunately, it didn't. A few nights later, I made sure not to sleep in my room. I was sitting at my computer desk. I was actually editing a Get Rad video that was going to go up, and I got another notification, but this time it wasn't through text message. It was actually through my email that popped up. I got a little notification on my desktop. I opened the notification, not knowing what to expect. And what I saw again was my dog, Penny. And she was in the middle of the living room, just deadpan, staring at the security camera. And then the security camera fell. Just fell right off the shelf. Ooh, that gives me goosebumps. I went out there, and Penny was in the middle of the living room staring at it. And the camera was on the floor, but no one else was home. It was just me. So does that mean we got a ghost? Does it mean we have a defective camera? Does it mean... I don't know what it means. I can't even think of another thing. I don't know. Maybe you can come up with something, because I'm out of ideas. And there's a story I wanted to share with you guys. A very creepy rad chat time. So until next time, keep with the radness, and I'll see you real soon. Bye. 1 like equals 1 Ghostbuster. Okay, we'll go with that. So send me some Ghostbusters just in case I need them later.